Got a lot of thick surface rust on this stuff and some pretty bad pitting too, obviously. Gonna hold it still for a minute. Okay, I just finished grinding these reclaimed steel pieces. I got these for free from a guy, put them on Facebook, said he wanted them out of his yard. They're a pretty thin wall steel tubing. They have kind of a funny little crease bend in them. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, you can see that profile there. It's kind of odd. Makes it a little harder to clean them, but I think it'll make a unique look, and they're free. Very rusty, which I kind of like, and they also have this blue paint on them. You can see this blue color here, which I think is going to work pretty good. I like blue and red together. I'm thinking about using these for legs for a red cedar driftwood console table. So I think they might make a good material. I like the dimension of them, and so cleaning them up. I've been experimenting and learning a lot about using rusty old steel for furniture. And I want to keep some of the rust, but I don't want the steel to keep rusting when it's in somebody's house. So it's kind of a puzzle to be solved, is how do you have rust, which is like a living reaction, seal it so that you can still see it, but then not have it continue to rust. So I'm still learning about this. If you know the answer, tell me about it. So what I am doing is removing the loose flaky rust, because I found that it really doesn't work to leave a heavy coat of rust on. There's just no way to really stop that rust reaction from continuing. So I've been removing the loose rust and most of the thick rust, and then sealing with Penetrol, which is actually a paint. It's for removing brush marks in oil-based paints, but it penetrates rust and seems to seal it in pretty good. I'm also experimenting right now with using Osfo and a rust converter that's really similar to Seal that I happen to have a gallon of. Thanks, Mike. So I'm going to try those things on here. I'm running some experiments right now. So what I've been using to remove the rust is this thing. It's a surfacing or stripping disc, and it looks like a dish sponge, but it works incredibly good for removing anything from the surface of rust or surface of steel, but it doesn't really affect the steel at all. I think everybody's familiar with the really common flap wheel on a grinder, and these work okay, but they get hot and they gum up pretty bad. And that's really the magic of this funny strip disc thing, is that it doesn't gum up and it doesn't build heat, and it doesn't really remove any metal. It'll remove paint and steel, and let me tell you, it will remove mill scale like nothing, which is really hard to get rid of mill scale usually using sanding or grinding or anything. It just doesn't come off good, but these things get it off good, so that's pretty awesome. I've been ordering them from Amazon from Blackhawk strip disc. Give it a try. Okay, so I'm gonna cut these things up. There's a little bit of info about reclaiming rusty steel. I'd definitely like to hear some ideas from people out there that might know more about this or have more experience than me. It's a challenge to keep that rusty look, but not have rust bleeding on people's floor if their house gets a little bit humid in the summer or something. So I'm going to continue experimenting, and for the time being I think I've got something that works. I'm doing remove most of the rust, Penetrol to penetrate the rust and stop it and seal it, and then I'm usually spraying a matte, like a spray-on polyurethane or some kind, just a rattle can of clear in a matte finish to get rid of the glossy look, and then I'm usually finishing with paste wax over the top to give it that nice hand-rubbed finish and a little bit of highlighting, but in a hand-rubbed look. So, till next time.